Good morning, everybody. I just got the offer to cast this game on really short notice, so I didn't have time to look at everybody's records. I guess I could pull it up right now. I'm kind of worried that my computer's going to lag if I do. In fact, I should probably close this here. Okay, hopefully it doesn't lag. I don't see any red lights on it, so I think it's good. Strong headline for both players. Yeah, Metallic has a really great hand here. I think they're playing 90 minutes. I'm not sure why the timers are at 3 hours. Okay, they're talking about the timer right now. Oh yeah, I was going to track the cards too. Oh wow. Yeah, the last time I streamed when I was casting a game, the recording worked okay, but the stream went down in like the first 10 minutes, so hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I closed everything that I could except for the card tracker. I guess I could close that as well. But it looks good, so I'm not going to close it. Looks like Shackleton's disconnected here. Anyway, this is the top division in the RTSL, the Stalin division, so this is a pretty high level game here. Shackleton, I believe, finished first in the RTSL the last 2 or 3 times. Oh, okay, they're playing 60 minutes. I'm gonna try to fix the label without lagging out, hopefully. It's a pretty interesting start. A couple of coups back and forth in Vietnam. Yeah, he's got to worry about Shackleton having Asia scoring here. He doesn't want Shackleton to be able to play Asia scoring. And get off on a neutral. And he probably doesn't have Middle East scoring. Because he probably would have played it already, like in the headline. I'm surprised he didn't try to get his Asia domination back there. Yeah, here comes the Asia scoring. He could use that to get Middle East domination if he takes Saudi Arabia and Syria. I'm okay with coup in Iran too. I think that's cool. That's a cool play with me. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing wrong with holding decolonization until next turn. Makes more sense to go for Middle East, I think, because that's the scorecard that's still active. He's still down 2 millops here. He could coup Thailand. Could coup Syria, I guess. I mean, he's got to worry about Middle East presence. Or even Iraq, maybe. Well, he's got the deadly Red Scare Purge plus blockade combo in his hand, and also he's got defectors, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So this is going to be pretty huge for Metallic. He had a good hand on the first hand, and he's got a good hand again here. Not a lot of ops, but that Red Scare Purge plus blockade combo makes basically any hand a good hand. Oh, never mind, the containment balances it out. I like that play. Don't give him the chance to coup Thailand again. Even though you have it at 4, it's still a much better coup target for Shackleton than Iraq or Syria. Also, with a good enough roll, you can take away his adjacency there. Puts the last one in Panama. That's interesting. What a great time to roll a 6. Yeah, it might not even be worth it to... Yeah, I guess he's just going to hold blockade until next turn, which makes sense. Space the special relationship. Oh, he's going to event it. I'm very surprised that he, I guess he wanted to hold the special relationship through the reshuffle. But that third space race box is coming up. If you coup on AR1 at the beginning of turn 3, Shackleton gets the opportunity to hit that third space race box first. We haven't seen de Gaulle, de-Stalinization, or socialist governments yet, so It seems pretty likely that Shackleton's got a good card to discard on this too. I'm not even sure if I would have evented it here, honestly. I think maybe playing one op is better. But yeah, I think I would have spaced this special relationship. Even though you don't get to hold it through the reshuffle that way, you get the shot at the space box. And also, you got a smaller chance to have a hand that's overloaded with bad cards next turn, like Duck and Cover, East European Unrest. Good decision by Shackleton to headline the containment there, I think. It's the beginning of turn 2. You haven't seen Blockade yet. You haven't seen Red Scare Purge yet. You gotta know that combo is potentially there. And you don't have defectors either to headline. Well, of the 5 cards that we can see that Shackleton has, he doesn't really have an amazing headline. Also, I should probably mention, I think it was a really good play to get into Angola first when the DEFCON was at 2 last turn, cutting off the blue spread in South Africa. Truman got reshuffled. That's kind of dangerous, huh? Kind of surprised he's... I mean, I guess it's not that high of a chance that he's got Truman after the reshuffle, but... I mean, he's got 2 cards unaccounted for. Yeah, that's a lot safer, I think. I'm kind of surprised he didn't coup there, honestly. I mean, I guess he does have Europe scoring in his hand. Shackleton can coup Angola and get the 2-for-1 now. And I like this play too, to play de-Stalinization right here, and you can get Zaire back. So I guess it wasn't a 2-for-1, but he forced him to use one of his de-Stalinizations in Zaire when he had adjacency before. So yeah, I mean, even though it's not a great hand in terms of ops for Metallic, that de-Stalinization event is just huge. It was a really interesting play by Shackleton right there. I'm pretty sure that when you realign a country at -1 and it has one op in it, you've got something like, this isn't going to be exactly right, but I think it's something like 27-28%. If I remember, I'll look it up later and put it in the comments, but I think it's something like high 20% maybe, between 25 and 30% to knock it off. So that's a really interesting play. Not sure if I would have done that in Shackleton's shoes. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I don't know if I would have really even considered it that much, but it's definitely interesting. I mean, we've still got Algeria open that you want to put ops in. And you've got countries like South Africa that you want to put ops in. And at the time, Mexico was still open. He could have put ops in Mexico. Israel. I guess Israel's not a very high priority, though, because AI war is still out. Good time to hit a space roll. Putting one more op in Philippines was not a super high priority, but it kind of stinks when Southeast Asia comes out and you're sitting there with one op in Philippines, and it feels like kind of a waste, because you usually end up completing it anyway, so it seems more efficient to do it before Southeast Asia scoring comes out. Oh, I guess I already messed up on the card counting, didn't I? Or he already played nuclear test ban. That's what I messed up on, I think. Wow, I'm kind of surprised he took Spain there with Europe scoring gone. He's got a huge realign set up on France, but it's kind of hard to get the DEFCON up to 5. So if I didn't make any more mistakes counting cards, or tracking cards, I mean, then Shackleton should have UN intervention in his hand. You know, this hand really isn't too bad for metallic. He wants the space grain, hold NORAD, get rid of Alliance for Progress as soon as possible. I mean, the Sadat, you don't want to see the Sadat in your hand, but it's really not such a terrible hand. I almost wonder if he could coup Saharan states at the beginning here and just leave the DEFCON at 3. Because if you leave the DEFCON at 3 and it puts Shackleton in kind of a weird spot, I mean, I don't know, I guess you don't really want to get Argentina couped either, now that I think about it. That would be kind of a disaster, huh? Oh, he's going to leave the DEFCON at 3. Yeah, I think I like that better. You really don't want to let Argentina get couped here, I don't think. It's really not that easy for blue to get a foothold down there. There's OAS, but other than that, it's pretty difficult for blue to get down there. And even giving up Nigeria, you have to feel pretty good about your chances of getting Africa domination on this turn. Well, maybe not. I guess he doesn't have that many ops. Okay, I take it back. You don't feel good about your chances of getting Africa domination. I changed my mind. I forgot how few ops he had. And if anybody watching this is thinking, well, what about NORAD? That's 3 ops. Well, you don't want to let that NORAD event go off. Yeah, I think that's really smart. Just dump Africa scoring right there. Don't give up the domination. Kind of unlucky that your opponent went so hard for the scoring card that you were holding at the time. Probably because Shackleton doesn't have a scoring card in his hand. So he just went for the best play available. Well, he might have Southeast Asia scoring in his hand. He's got a really good brush horse set up on Thailand, too. Well, let's see. He's got 5 more ops. Where do they go? You're going to have to put one in Argentina. Probably one okay, he does have Southeast Asia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, I like that too. You gotta make sure you're not giving up well, maybe we'll have to give up his Middle East domination, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Saudi Arabia is good for OPEC also, which we haven't seen yet. And Shackleton might not have enough in his hand to take Israel, so he's not necessarily going to give up Middle East domination here. Threatening South America domination, but he might give Shackleton an opening to get down in South America now if he coups Uruguay successfully. We haven't seen Junta yet either. Oh, interesting. He goes salt event. What are we getting here? Grain. That's interesting. He's got that big realign set up on France right now. Oh, the Cuban Missile Crisis lowers the DEFCON. Yeah, that's smart. Not the card that Shackleton wanted to pull right there. If he lets the event go off, he loses China card. And he doesn't want to give it back either. Big roll. I think a lot of people would have given back that cultural revolution there, and I think Shackleton made the right decision in not giving it back. Shackleton really wants to get back into Uruguay, but with 4 ops, I don't know if he's going to go for it. Well, right back at you. Yes, space the NORAD, hold Nixon and China card. Oh, wait a minute, he's missing a card from grain sales. That's right, you can't hold 2 cards. Wow. Kind of surprised he's overprotecting in South Africa there when there's so many important battlegrounds still open, like West Germany. I mean, I know Europe's scoring's gone, but so is Africa's scoring. Guess he's really worried about getting realigned in Africa. Oh yeah, and he's even spacing South African unrest. I'm surprised he's so worried about it. That was a pretty good flip on Panama there. Caught his opponent at a time when he couldn't put 3 back to control Panama again. Shackleton has some pretty big brush war targets. Wow. Yeah, this is huge. Shackleton's stuck in the quagmire. Pretty good headline for Shackleton too there. But Junta is a huge headline. Shackleton might have a pretty bad hand here too. I mean, we haven't seen South America, Central America, or Middle East scoring yet. Haven't seen Lone Gunman, Allende, Che, OPEC, Suez Crisis, We Will Bury You. I mean, Shackleton might have a really terrible hand here. Yeah, I like put it back in Mexico. That makes sense. Hitting that next space race box is a big deal too. Might want to think about spacing. Well, yeah, that's a pretty big deal too, I guess. I guess that's a bigger deal than spacing. Completing Cuba there to get the Central America control. That's smarter. Got some pretty good brush war targets going the other way too. Algeria is a pretty big one. Venezuela. I mean, I guess Venezuela's bigger because we haven't seen South America scoring yet. Might even want to coup Colombia before you brush war Venezuela. Pretty good rolls. Better than average rolls on the real lines. Might see him dump Central America scoring right here. Yeah, that was a pretty good coup attempt as well. Try to get your control back. 50-50 shot. I like it. We haven't seen ABM yet either. Haven't seen puppet governments yet either. Or bear trap. Kind of surprised he didn't wait until the last action round to do that. Although I guess yeah, he's got a coup in Nigeria, but yeah, OAS is always a tough card to get rid of when you're playing red. I like holding Usuri through the reshuffle too. Usuri is another event you want to avoid, and if you can hold that through the reshuffle and space it on turn 7, that's pretty great. Yeah, I guess he didn't get to use the nuclear subs at all anyway. Almost didn't have a reshuffle there, which is good for players that are tracking cards, because now we know 8 out of 9 cards that are in Shackleton's hand. Puppet governments is not nearly as useful as it would have been earlier, though, because the board is so filled up now. It's still, good, but not nearly as good as it would have been earlier. He's probably going to go for the double coup on Mexico here. He knows that Shackleton has Central America scoring in his hand. Coup Mexico in the headline. If it doesn't work, coup it again on AR1. And if it does work, you can do something else on AR1, like coup in Nigeria. Perhaps. Shackleton also gets stuck with lone gunman in his hand here. Well, he pulled a pretty great card off the top of that reshuffle. Voice of America. Wow, I think you coup Nigeria here, and then you can take Brazil. Yeah, I like it. We're on the same wavelength. We've got other big open countries too, like South Korea, West Germany. You know, I probably wouldn't have thought. I like that play. Keep the 4-drop in your hand, and you don't have to worry about overprotecting Cuba, really. He's probably going to go for Haiti, though. Yeah, this is... Ooh. Good time to roll big again. I think I might have actually used the 4-drop to coup there. Just, maybe that's being too much of a scaredy cat, but... Yeah, if you miss that roll there, you're getting realigned really hard in Cuba. Let's see if Shackleton gets any good discards here. Unfortunately, you have to let the R-Man in Tehran event go off here. Probably space Usuri and hold Bear Trap. Oh yeah, and Poland is open too. Forgot about that. Truman Doctrine never got removed, by the way, so there's always that Truman danger lurking out there. It was unlikely that he was going to get Truman Doctrine on this hand. It was possible. He only got one more card dealt to him after the reshuffle, but if it had been Truman, that would have been kind of sick. Could have removed 3 in Poland with it. Or even maybe perhaps triggered an ops war in Poland and then used it maybe. I don't know. Of course, he's got to focus on Central America a lot. Interesting, he doesn't even event that. He just goes straight for the coup. That's what I would do. Coup it with the 4. Don't let him realign you. He could make a play with Voice of America right here too if he uses Voice of America to take or do it that way. Yeah, I think that is much better than letting the bear trap event go off. I guess Shackleton was counting the cards there, and he knew exactly what was in Meta11ic's hand, and that's how he knew that would work. Pretty smart play there by Shackleton. Saves a couple of... Actually saves, 4 points there by not having Cuba controlled. Really good play there. By the way, if anybody was wondering why do you want to space Ussuri on this turn and hold the bear trap instead of the other way around, it's because Ussuri event is always going to be horrible for you, no matter what. So you definitely don't want that to go off. I'll continue that thought in a second. Ooh, big value from... Oh yeah, and he gets to discard a card because of the 6 space race box. Great time to discard a card. This is a great time for one small step too. This is a huge value. And it negates the Star Wars event as well. Big time one small step event. I think you really... Wow, this game is really close. I feel like you really don't want to hold the 5-year plan until next turn. I think you just want to use the 5-year plan to discard Star Wars at the end of the turn. There's no chance that Star Wars event can get reactivated after one small step event goes off. Or actually, I guess Defectors is still in the deck too. Defectors would be absolutely brutal here if he headlines Defectors. It's unlikely. There are a lot of cards in the deck now that the late war cards just got shuffled in, so it's unlikely that he's got Defectors. But I don't know. I mean, what is there, like maybe probably more than 40 cards, like more than 45 cards. Interesting. Chernobyl. Where's he going with the Chernobyl? Europe. This is interesting. I wonder if Shackleton could make a play for Europe control here. If he's got Tear Down This Wall and Solidarity in his hand, he could flip Poland, control West Germany, and then he would have a massive realign with Tear Down This Wall. It would be +4 in France and +1 in East Germany. That is really dangerous. I wonder if it's worth it to event the terrorism here. I guess it's also really nice to have that Warsaw Pact event in your hand too, just in case he tries to do something crazy in Europe like that. You could always just event the Warsaw Pact. But you can only put 2 in Poland with it, so if he's got Solidarity, it still breaks Poland. It's going to take a lot of ops to flip it, though. He's going to have to play Solidarity and then put 5 more ops to flip it. But 2 in West Germany, 5 in Poland. He's probably got 7 ops in his hand. I mean, I'm just thinking of worst case scenarios here. Shackleton's getting pretty low on time too. We need to remember he's only got 15 minutes left and 3 whole turns left to go. So he might be feeling the time pressure a little bit here. Or maybe not, I don't know. He did lose a few minutes at the beginning when he disconnected, so he's playing at a faster pace than what his clock looks like. Well, he didn't go for Europe. Yeah, actually, on second thought, I think it definitely... Oh, he did have defectors in his hand, wow. Wonder if Shackleton has got Europe scoring in his hand and that's why he played it this way. Oh, East European unrest. Yeah, that too. That's not going to work as well as Solidarity, though. Yeah, what a great time to get Warsaw Pact event. Yeah, I'm sure Shackleton didn't want to see that. He's probably frustrated to see that event come out. I did event the terrorism. That's a pretty good card to hit right there, honestly. Yeah, because he's taken a 5-point hit in Europe if he doesn't hit Europe scoring there. Probably. Oh, he let the bear trap event go off. Wow. I'm really surprised he let the bear trap event go off. I think it would have made a lot... Oh, he can't space a 3-op. Ah, I see. I forgot about that. Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, the one small step put him out of range for the for spacing the 3. That's interesting. You know, I didn't think about that when he evented the one small step, that he wouldn't be able to space a 3 anymore, but you know, now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't worth it to event the one small step, because now you have to bear trap yourself, which is probably not good. I mean, even though there's a pretty good chance that you can throw a bad looking blue card on it at the beginning here, like colonial rear guards. You could hold NORAD until the final turn and then the event gets wasted. Shuttle Diplomacy is a pretty good card to throw on the bear trap too. Well, it looks like he's not going to be able to get enough points for the War Games event. What a close game here. Who's going to win this? Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for him to get the War Games. In RTSL, if you event War Games and the game ends at a 0-0 tie on the VP track, then it counts as a tie, even though playdeck gives you a loss for that. On the printed rules, it says it's supposed to be a tie, but in playdeck they count it as a loss because they don't have any ties on playdeck for some reason. Anyway, if Metallic hits the first roll on Bear Trap, does he win? That Cuba realign's looking pretty tough. What do you do if you're Shackleton here? Use the CIA to realign Cuba and then coup somewhere like, say, where would you want to coup? Where's the best place to coup? Iran? He's got II war in his hand. So if he can coup Iran, ooh, a fail, that is not good. That's got to take down your win percentage by a lot, that roll. Now you can use a big card to coup in Iran. Get a pretty good value on your II war event. Or you could just coup Zaire. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, another fail. That hurts. I don't think I like putting the NORAD into the trap there. I think there's a pretty good chance that you won't have to discard any cards on this turn. 5-year plan's gone, terrorism is gone. So you get to hold one card here, right? That hurts too. You get to hold one card here, and the card that I think the best card to hold would have been NORAD, and then you can just play it on turn 10 and the event doesn't matter anymore. That was a big roll. I guess he's just resigning himself to the fact that Cuba's getting realigned here with 4 in Nicaragua and 6 in Haiti. You know, it's just too hard to get that out. Wow. What amazing rolling on that. Oh, he is going to try to break the realign again. I guess you've got to get a non-battleground for Central America domination anyway. If you lose Cuba, you might as well try, right? I think probably it would have made more sense to try to do that before eventing the IP war. You know that your opponent doesn't have Asia scoring in their hand. Oh well. That's more like it. Gotta worry about Pakistan getting flipped by the China card too, right? I mean, I know that it messes up the Formosan. Or no, wait a minute. Shackleton's holding the China card. He doesn't have to worry about that. Might have to worry about the China card getting jammed into North or South Korea here, though. Asia scoring is Asia scoring is still out, and Europe scoring is gone. Ooh, grain sales, you don't want to see that. Oh, he's got UN intervention too. Russia war, that's a nice card to see. Got some pretty good targets for that still. I'll be right back. Shackleton's really low on time here too. Looks like my stream got messed up again, so everybody's gonna have to catch it on YouTube instead. Yeah, he's only got 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play this last turn here. Really cutting it close. Wow, another big roll. He doesn't have adjacency in Pakistan to flip it with the China card either. Could try to jam China card into North or South Korea, though. Or actually, breaking North or South Korea wouldn't break Asia domination. If he uses it to take Taiwan and Afghanistan... Oh, no, he doesn't have adjacency in Afghanistan either. Okay, yeah, so he does suspect that Metallic's got Asia scoring here, of course, after he used Brush War in Asia. Yeah, really good play by Shackleton to not give up the Asia domination after losing that Brush War. This is a really, really close game still. He's kind of wondering where he should play here, and I'm sort of wondering to myself, maybe it would have been worth it to just try to go for Asia domination with the ops in your hand. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of ops, but yeah, like, wouldn't that have made more sense before playing Asia scoring to do that? I still kind of wonder if it's his best play. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Don't have to worry about China card anymore. Yeah, or take Afghanistan. You know, wouldn't those plays have made more sense before playing Asia scoring? not going to bother to try to figure out who's going to win this game. Yeah, that did suck. Giving up this North Sea event is pretty bad too. Wait a minute, he's gonna miss presence in Europe. You don't want to miss your presence in Europe. Yeah, overprotect that. If he's gonna deny you presence in Europe, make him earn it by breaking it twice. Yeah, that was a big tear down this wall at the end. You got to imagine that he's getting pretty good value out of the extra turn from North Sea oil here too. It's actually, yeah, even though he's down 10 points, I think he's got this game. He's got 57 seconds left, but that should be enough, I would imagine. Oh, it ended in a tie. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. You know, couldn't he have won there? I think he could have played Che like if he puts one in Iraq and, or wait a minute. Yeah, if he puts one in Iraq and one in Zimbabwe, I think Shackleton wins there, right? He would get Middle East domination and Africa domination at the end there. I'm pretty sure Shackleton missed the win on the last play there. He only had 30 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he missed the win there. Used the Che to put one in Iraq or Saudi Arabia and then the other one to put in Zimbabwe, and you get domination in Middle East and Africa, I believe. Wow, what a close game. Exciting. I hope the stream didn't mess up too bad. It was giving me a red blinking light earlier, so that sounds bad. Let me see if we can get metallic on the.
That's a game of Twilight Struggle for you.
Oops.
Holy smokes.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit this time because last time you were so quiet on the recording. Okay, I'm gonna turn you up. Okay, you're up now.
All right. Holy smokes, that was a game.
Yeah, close game. To end
at an exact tie. I knew I knew that that final in victory point from North Sea Oil was probably too much. Not being able to space three ops, having to give him duck and cover, and not being able to space North Sea Oil was just so punishing in the last turn.
Yeah, and bear trap too.
Yeah, I mean the bear trap. I'm kind of curious what your thought on that was because, from my point of view, I felt like terrorism. So at that point, I had already gotten to the ninth space point, so I could no longer space three ops. So I couldn't get rid of 5-year plan, and I couldn't get rid of um, bear trap. So I had to bear trap myself. The question was, do I event it that turn or go into the next turn with it? Um,
Yeah, I think I would have let the event go off. Well, I don't know. I
yeah.
guess you don't have a very good card to put into it on that turn either. I mean, you don't really want to put 5-year plan into it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get 5-year plan out of my hand, but I think I did it in probably the worst way possible. I think that turn I could have played a lot better. I did like getting to that 9 space race track because that was just a ton of victory points that went to me instead of to him, and he never got to that track. But at the end, I don't think it was. I don't think it was worth it. I think I should have just not fought. I don't think I should have headlined one small step that turn because it just put me in too much trouble later on. It's super problematic for USSR if you can't space three ops, especially in the late war.
Yeah, when you headline one small step, I said, "Wow, what a great time to get one small step event." But I didn't actually think about the fact that you could only space 4 ops after that, and that really hurts with the bear trap and 5-year plan in your hand.
Yeah, I didn't get any four ops too, because I absolutely would have spaced a neutral four ops card, and in turn 10, maybe even my own four ops card. Well, probably not in turn 10 because Asia was really close to dominating for me. Um, so if I had gotten Asia or if I had gotten a four op card, that probably would have been enough to secure the win. Because I think you only get two, and you have to roll one or two. So I don't think I'm getting the space. Well, it's hard to get the space stations, but even if I do, it's enough BPs to win.
I was kind of surprised that he didn't headline defectors on that turn, that you headline one small step.
Yeah, that would have saved me a lot of trouble, wouldn't it? If he had actually headlined defectors.
I was kind of surprised to see him play that. He headlined Chernobyl. When he headlined the Chernobyl, I was thinking to myself, "Oh wow, he might have something like Solidarity, tear down this wall in his hand, and he's about to go for Europe control here." But he
That
He
is
didn't
incredibly
actually.
unfortunate that 5-year plan hit Europe and not Truman. Not 5-year plan, terrorism. If terrorism hit Truman, then I would have kept Poland, and that's another um, one VP, well, two VPs I would have had going into the end of the game. So when you tie, even like little things like that would have decided the game. So if terrorism had hit Truman instead of Europe scoring, it would have been mine, I think.
Speaking of little things swinging the game, did Shackleton miss the win at the end there?
Oh, 100%. Two into East Germany, and then Shea into East Germany loses me present, so that's worth 4 victory points. And he would have still kept Africa and only lost 1 victory point in South Africa. So it would have been worth presence 3, 4. It would have been worth 3 victory points to do that play. So yeah, I think he did miss the win at the end, but he was at 33 seconds, so I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, he was under a lot of time pressure. He only had about less than 5 minutes to play the final turn. Also, if he puts one op into Saudi Arabia or Iraq, then he's got Middle East domination.
Oh, that's another good point. Yeah. I was thinking about my play would have been 1 Iraq, 1 Saudi Arabia on the last AR if he hadn't hit me with tear down this wall. That was incredibly destructive.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
in retrospect, I think I should have overprotected East Germany even more, but um, didn't come to pass.
Yeah,
It's
I
interesting.
was glad that you put that over protection in East Germany at the end. You changed your mind there at the last second, and I was like, yeah, don't lose your presence.
Yeah, losing presence would have been just terrible there.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a good play.
yeah, I don't know. Another thought too is the purge into Haiti. Um, I felt really disgusted by that, but I felt like I had to get Central America there. But I just feel like it's a really bad use of purge because even if he realigns me out of Cuba, I'm still getting the domination. But it leaves me open to a jam, which he did end up jamming, and I didn't get the control anyway. So it felt kind of like the play of purge was ultimately pretty wasted.
I think, yeah, go back to that turn. What was the play right before that?
That was turn seven. Um, ABM or IND. It was in a coup war over Haiti, and I think he rolled really high. So I'm like, okay, either I just jam all four ops from Purge into Cuba and just pray that his realigns don't get me all the way out, um, or to Q Haiti, and he ended up having a four op card and jammed. If he didn't have a four op card, then I could use how I learned to fill Cuba back up. So it's, I guess, smart play from him to keep that four up in reserve to jam it. And also, I could have won the game if I had headlined this. And I was thinking for a moment about headlining it because I knew he had Lone Gunman, but I didn't think with him holding the China card he would even consider headlining Lone Gunman. So that was a very well played to him. Um, I, well, more of a misplay by me, I think, to not headline how I learned. So I would have
I
won
kind of
the
like the
game.
ABM treaty headline, actually. I mean, yeah, against the lone gunman you would have won, but isn't it kind of unusual for him to headline lone gunman there? I don't know. I guess it worked. I kind of like the ABM treaty headline because if you coup Mexico and miss, then you get to coup it again right away, and you know he's got Central America scoring in his hand.
Yeah. I think your stream might have crapped out again because I pulled it up on my phone. I think it's only like 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah, yeah. For some reason, the recording's still going, but the stream crapped out. I'm just gonna have to put it on YouTube later. So all of my legions of fans that were watching the stream got disconnected.
It's too
But
bad.
they'll just
But
have to
I
catch it
think,
on YouTube later because the last time this happened, the recording kept going.
yeah, I mean, at least for those that watch the YouTube, they're going to get a pretty good game, I think, because it's not often you have a game get to zero in final scoring.
Oh
Usually,
yeah,
ties are intentional, like an intentional war game thing. For it to end in zero in final scoring is even rarer.
yeah. It was a great game. I like the Red Scare purge into Haiti there. I think you got to do that. In fact, I think I like cooing. What is the other country there? Oh yeah, Nicaragua. I think I like cooing Nicaragua and Haiti a lot more than you do.
Yeah, he was rolling really well. Oh, and I mean, obviously in turn one, there was the play where I didn't put Indo-Pak War into Malaysia. That would have secured me the domination and put me in an amazing spot. Um, it's unfortunate he rolled two sixes in a row on Vietnam, and I didn't want to spend more of my ops in a non-battleground, especially when I needed to fill up Iraq or somewhere in the Middle East because I was still presenceless. That was another pretty big moment of the game that I felt didn't go my way.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate that he had Asia scoring there.
I should have. I don't know. I don't know if it was obvious or not because if you do have Asia scoring, it's an obvious play to coup Vietnam. But even if you don't have Asia scoring, I feel like the cooing of Vietnam is like if you have a lot of one-up cards, which he did use two one-up cards. It's not a terrible way to spend your ops because there's not much otherwise that one-ups can be used for.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think putting into Malaysia and getting your domination back probably was better. And also, he's probably not got Middle East scoring in his hand because he probably would have headlined that. So I think there's a higher chance he's got Asia scoring in his hand than Middle East scoring. Even though he
Yeah.
headlined Marshall Plan at the beginning, which, I mean, is also, a great headline for blue at the beginning of the game. I think most people would headline Middle East scoring if they had both of those cards in their hand at the beginning.
Yeah, he would have played Middle East scoring instead of Europe scoring AR1 if he had Middle East scoring. So,
Oh
um,
yeah, he could have played it then too.
yeah. So, um, ultimately, I don't think I made that many serious mistakes. I mean, maybe I should have been quicker on Algeria, but not like a critical blunder. I think.
I thought you got into Algeria first, or no? Oh no, I'm thinking of Angola, not Algeria. Never mind.
Yeah, this game, I didn't forget about Angola.
Yeah, you played really well with the decolonization and de-Stalinization events. I thought you got a ton of value from those.
Yeah, for sure. And they came up twice too. He was. I was also thinking about putting one in Venezuela, one Brazil, because high level players I see almost always go for the real lines after play of D style.
Yeah, I
So
thought
I
that
should
was
have.
really interesting too.
Yeah, I should have put one there, Venezuela, Brazil, and planned against that. But I think I was a little bit too greedy in going for Mexico.
I usually play it the way that you played it. I was kind of surprised that he went for the real-line there, actually, with so many countries that were open. I mean, he could have just used his 3-op to just straight up take Mexico and